So I have done that for every country. I looked at all the different requirements and I did get the vaccine I needed. Next one is the to-do list. The to-do list was by far the funniest because you're pretty much pre-traveling in each destination, seeing pictures, watching videos, getting tricks and tips from other YouTubers or video creators, and those are very good ones. I found many different videos that are very well made, and hopefully I can convey the same message through my trip. But if I go through the first one, the few details I wrote down for 25 CNI or the equivalent of $3.95, I can go from the airport to downtown by train. Which is actually pretty cheap, so I can reach my hotel. The following day I'm planning to go to the China Wall, to see one of the wonders of the world. Avoid weekends, that was one of the main advice because it's very crowded. And you see the price, it's about $1 or 7 CNI to go by train using the S2 line from that station, Wang Tudian to Badaling. And I did build a map for that so I know where it is compared to my hotel. It should be hopefully a very cheap transportation system and pretty easy to do. So now let's go and talk about that. What I did for each location, you see in that folder on the right side. If I go to Beijing map and TDL. TDL means to-do list. If I open that of Beijing, actually that one is for the subway, and then I have another one that I downloaded below. Most of everything I get it from Google or Google Maps, and it's been pretty handy. So I can see I circled the airport, and you have the two terminals. I know it takes 25 CNI, that's what I added on the map, to go to that station. And from that station, I know I can take the blue line and go directly to that station. And this is about a 5-minute walk, actually 10-minute walk from the hotel I will be staying in. So it should be, I hope so, we'll see in a couple of days. Then you see I put a second map. This is a different format, everything else is in a different format as well. But I did circle all the area that you must visit, are all the ones that are on top on the priority list, or the must do in this area for the downtown. And based on my location, you see the hotel, I just put that right there with a red dot. I know how far it is, I know where I should go. I don't have to do everything, but at least I have an idea of where to go and what to visit for the different sites. Let's open a second map just to have a different example. Let's say, okay, let's take Hanoi, because this is going to be the standard format for my trip. Here we are. This is what I use. So when you use Google, every location that you're typing in Google, it will put a location map on the right side, a little screen. This is the one that I'm zooming out. I take a screenshot of that, and then I just play on the Mac and add some details about it. I just want, in case of, I want an electronic copy and a hard copy of the main things I want to do in each location or in each destination. So if you look at Hanoi, I added the flower market, they're talking about the lake, a museum, a temple, the train street. So a few things that are very popular in that location or in that destination. You have the night markets, you have a pagoda. So I put the different areas that I wanted to see or that were advised to be seen or visited. And based on that, I know the concentration. It helped me to define where I was going to book my hotel so that I'm in walking distance of most of everything. Okay, let's do Hong Kong. I have two maps, one that is including the airports and the second one that is including the rest of the trip. So you have Hong Kong Island and Hong Kong City. Again, the little blue circles are areas that are highly advised, that are on top of the list of the things to be visited. You have a very famous temple over there, the Wang Tai Sin. You have the Temple Street night market. You have the Man Mo Temple, Pak Tai Temple, and then you have Victoria Peak, a little peak that you can do, or the Dragon's Back. Those are a good hike on the island, according to what I found out. And you can also get the world's best street food noodle wonton in a Wellington street. So just looking at the main areas, you spot that and you just place that on the map. Based on that, I choose a hotel and I found that one that is very well located and also very cheap price, Maple Leaf Guest House. And from here, according to my research, I can take a little ferry boat that is very cheap to cross to the island. I can visit that during the day, come back at night, and the following day, I can finish my visit, go to the temple, do the night market and such. And this is all I needed. So I tried to color code everything. So it's in Hong Kong, we're talking about the Maple Leaf. If I go into the Hong Kong section, Maple Leaf, just to give you an example, I will spend 2 nights and I used booking.com. I will spend about $27.62 and it was already paid. This is a single room, this is not a dormitory. So this is a very, very decent price to be in a downtown Hong Kong for about $14 a piece for having your private room. This is another example of different location or must-see location that I circled on a map. I also inserted the different nights. I actually decided to choose 2 different hotels for different reasons. That's actually the location in where I was able to use some points from Marriott. And those will be actually the 2 most luxurious places I will do during my trip. And again, like I said, this is not the goal of the trip, but I had the opportunity and it's actually a very good timing. So I'll spend 1 night on the north side of Dubai, 1 night into the downtown or the center of it, which will be very convenient to visit different sections and then go to the next one. So I will arrive at the airport right here, go to that hotel, visit everything here. The next day, go to that hotel. The second night, visit everything else. And then you see in the middle, it says Etihad Luxury Coach Bus Station. Actually, my flight will not depart from Dubai. It will arrive in Dubai, but it will depart from Abu Dhabi. I will have to take the bus, and it's already, everything is included in the trip. But the bus location is right there, and that's why I chose the second night so close. So it's just basically almost in walking distance. I could spend a lot more time talking about the file and how I organized that. I don't want to make it boring and too long, but I took notes of everything. I had a section for everything. You see, the next one that we have not talked about are the adapters. And I start entering every type that is needed based on the country that I was visiting, That one same as US or France. That one I need a type G and such. And I figured out that for the different destinations going all around the world, I needed my 4 different adapters. This is a very cheap lot that I bought, about 17 years ago. They've all been useful one at a time. This time I will take them all. It's pretty light. And I should be able to have all my electronics connected at any time in any countries. The last one was actually one of the first useful sections that I had when I was pre-booking my trip. I added a section to see, okay, financially, does it make sense or not to stop in one area or another area? I wanted to see the impact, and I did a simulation with the world tour agency I was working with, which is called AirTrek, and is actually so far a very good company. I have a very pleasant experience. I will put a link as well below. I would advise to use them. Looks like they're number 1 for it, and the price is still decent. I thought it was very acceptable. So do you have any particular time, or you told me you would have a few options, right? And then we can choose what fits the best.
Yeah, well, I'll take a peek here and see. So the least expensive option, the flight to Beijing, from Beijing on the 19th of January, departs at 8:10 p.m. and gets into Hong Kong at 11:35 p.m. nonstop.
Okay, so it's pretty late. I start putting a section and say, okay, if I don't, according to their simulator, if I don't stop in that city, how much is it adding or not as far as the price? Stopping in Beijing was adding 135. But let's face it, it's on my way. I wanted to see the Great Wall of China because I like to see all the wonder of the world. So say for 135 compared to the overall price, it is not. Stop in Hong Kong was adding $46. Not that bad. Stop in Hanoi would save me $73. It's actually reducing the overall price. Stopping in Bangkok was only adding $12. Kathmandu, I didn't even green that. It was adding $156, but there were no questions about whether or not I would stop in that country. My older brother is living over there. I am going to stop and spend a lot of time with him. Then Delhi was adding $20. Dubai was saving $197. And you'll see Dubai and London. I added those destinations. I didn't really want to stay over there. I'm happy I do. But they're basically some of the main hubs for flights in the world, as well as Istanbul. But I removed that last minute for different reasons. Stopping in Cairo was adding $191 according to the simulator. Again, that's an estimation on the simulator. However, this is another wonder of the world. This is one of the main reasons of my trip, is seeing the pyramids of Giza. Moscow, we talked about it. Okay, be careful with the visa. It's a difficult process, but it's not undoable, you know. And it was actually saving some money as well, according to the simulator, surprisingly. Stopping in Paris, as much as it is for Nepal, the same reason. There was no question whether I would stop or not in that location. My family is living over there. My best friend is living over there. So I will definitely stop and spend some time with the family. And below I just added. So let's go to the expense section. Just, I would advise for everybody doing such trip, you know, just to keep a close look on what you're spending, where you're spending. In case of you have to backtrack some expenses, it will be a lot easier. I will bring some cash. I will also use one of my credit cards that has no international fees. This is Capital One, and I've been very pleased with that one. And I'm not advertising it by any means, but that card has been pretty convenient. You'll see through a few pricing, some expenses might not apply in your case, so just take that just as a guide. The overall trip, which I put on the first destination for flights, cost me $2,724 to stop in 13 destinations. It is very acceptable. Lodging, so far I ended up with very good pricing. It's not final here in Kathmandu because we'll do the trek and there will be a last minute deal, but it's very cheap. France, I will be staying with the family, so it won't cost me nothing. And some of the destination, I put some notes where it was divided by 2 because either my brother, sister or wife are joining me in those destinations. But let's be general about it. Dashboard, you know, the main sections: flights, lodging, transportation, food, visa expenses, you know, passes and entry fees, you know, when you're visiting certain sites like the Taj Mahal, you need a trekking pass, you're visiting the Wall of China, you're visiting the pyramids, you have fees for all those things and much more, you know. I pre-entered few of them by anticipation. Various, you know, depending on what you want to do, you know, let's say, like I said, maybe I will do a tattoo in Nepal like I did last year, so I entered a note about it. And then the pre-trip expenses, you know, I bought a backpack which I did a video about it, some packing cubes using a coupon, so ended up being very cheap. An USD card for my GoPro, a USB card to load some files, decided to purchase a MacBook Pro. So I can do some video editing on the fly as well, and a few other expenses. But again, this is just a glimpse of it. This is just preparation, and after the trip, I will have an exact cost or list of all the expenses that did happen during that trip, so that I can give everybody, you know, a good snapshot of what in 2020 would be the cost of doing such a trip. Now, it's not going to be as expensive as people think. Based on my research, I have good hope that it will be in my estimated range that I want it to. So just have to be careful and make sure your standards are not too high. Just make sure that you track so you know where you're at with your expenses. But the rest should be pretty smooth.